They tell you that having a big family is a blessing, and it is, but they don't tell you about the 200 a.m. wake-up calls with 6 children and a house that feels like it's shrinking every day. I've always tried to be the strong one, the sister who kept it all together while the world watched. But lately, the silence on my social media wasn't just for privacy. It was because I was drowning. While my sister Jinger is in Los Angeles, calling herself a slacker for only having 3 kids, I was in a kitchen in Arkansas, physically collapsing from a diet I thought would save me. My name is Jessa Seewald. For the next hour, I'm going to tell you the truth about the chaos, the comparison, and the moment I realized that being a perfect Duggar was almost the end of me. Every morning starts the same way. Before the sun is even up, the house is loud. With 6 children now, there is no such thing as a quiet cup of coffee. I look at my reflection in the mirror and I see the dark circles, the exhaustion that sleep can't fix. I grew up in a world where we were taught that a woman's highest calling is to serve her family without complaint. I love my children more than life itself, but by early 2026, the pressure to maintain the image of the perfect trad wife while managing a household of 8 was becoming a mountain I couldn't climb. I was trying to run a marathon on an empty tank, and the world was watching, waiting for me to trip. I was desperate to feel like myself again. After so many pregnancies back to back, I wanted my energy back. I wanted my body back. I saw people online talking about the carnivore diet, nothing but meat, no carbs, total clarity. I thought if I could just be disciplined enough, I could handle the chaos better. I started the diet while I was still breastfeeding, which I now know was a dangerous mistake. I was so focused on the perfection of the diet that I ignored what my body was telling me. I wanted to be the sister who had it all, the energy, the look, and the giant family. I didn't realize I was starving myself while trying to feed everyone else. The crash didn't happen all at once. It started with headaches, then the thinning hair, and finally, the one thing I feared most, my milk supply began to drop. I was standing in the kitchen trying to prep a meal for the kids, and the room just started spinning. Ben found me slumped against the counter, pale and shaking. It was a total system failure. I had pushed myself into a corner trying to follow a trend that my body simply couldn't handle. It was the first time I had to admit to Ben and to myself that I couldn't do this anymore. I wasn't a superhero. I was a mother who was breaking under the weight of her own expectations. While I was recovering, a clip from Jinger and Jeremy's podcast went viral. They were laughing, talking about how they were slacking because they only had 3 kids. I know they meant it as a joke, but sitting in my messy living room in Arkansas, it felt like a sting. Here I was, following the traditional path our parents laid out, drowning in the work of 6 children, while my sister was in California enjoying a minimalist life and iced coffees. It made me question everything. Why was I working so hard to maintain a standard that my own sisters were moving away from? Jinger found her peace in LA, but I was still here, trying to be the model daughter. Then there is Jana. For years, we were the 2 sisters left at the big house, but now she is in Nebraska with Stephen and their new baby, Archie. When she brought Archie to visit in February 2026, I saw a piece in her that I hadn't seen in years. She waited until she was 34 to start her family, and she was so picky about it. Watching her hold her one miracle baby, while I struggled with my 6, made me realize that everyone's timeline is different. Jana's life is quiet and intentional now. Mine is loud and chaotic. Seeing her reminded me that I didn't have to keep racing. I could just be Jessa. People wondered why I stopped posting. They thought I was hiding a secret pregnancy or a move. The truth was, I was ashamed. I didn't want to show the world a messy house or a tired face. I felt like I was failing the brand I had built. If Jessa Seewald isn't the organized, glowing mother of many, then who is she? I had to learn that my worth isn't tied to how many likes I get on a picture of a clean kitchen. The silence was necessary. I had to stop performing for the internet and start living for the little people inside my 4 walls. Ben was the one who finally put his foot down about the diet and the stress. He told me that he didn't need a perfect wife, he needed a healthy one. He was the one who reached out to the family to explain why I was stepping back. It wasn't easy for him to see me fall apart, but his support was what allowed me to start eating again, really eating, and nourishing my body. We had to have some very hard conversations about our future and how many more children we could realistically raise while keeping our sanity. Oh, even Jill has been reaching out more lately, trying to rebuild those bridges. Seeing her come back into the fold even slightly has been a comfort. She's been through her own battles with the family and the public eye, and she understands the pressure of the Duggar name better than anyone. We've had quiet moments on the porch where we don't talk about the past, we just talk about the kids. It's a slow process, but having my sisters back, even if we live different lives, is the only thing that makes the hard days manageable. It is so easy to scroll through Instagram and see Jinger in a trendy outfit in LA or Jana in her beautiful new farmhouse and feel like I'm stuck in the past. The comparison trap is real, especially when your whole life has been a public competition of sorts. I had to realize that Jinger isn't slacking, and I'm not superior for having more kids. We're just two women living the lives we chose. I chose this chaos, and I have to find a way to love it without letting it destroy me. 2026 has been a year of so many babies in this family. Between Jana's Archie and the new arrivals for John, Jeremiah, and Jed, it feels like the next generation is taking over. Every time a new baby is born, I feel that familiar tug, the desire to hold a newborn, the joy of a new life. But I've had to learn to be content with the children I have. I can't keep adding to the boom if I'm not physically and mentally whole. This year has been about learning that enough is a beautiful word. For a long time, I thought that being a good daughter meant following every rule my father set out. But seeing Jana move to Nebraska and Jinger move to LA showed me that the mold can be broken. I'm still in Arkansas, but I'm changing the way I do things. I'm letting the kids be louder. I'm letting the house be messier. I'm realizing that my life doesn't have to look like 19 kids and counting episode anymore. I am allowed to have my own opinions, even if they differ from the way I was raised. Healing from the carnivore diet disaster took months. I had to work with a nutritionist to understand how to fuel a body that has been through 6 pregnancies. I started eating grains and fruits again, and it felt like a fog was lifting from my brain. I have more patience now. I have more strength. I'm not trying to fit into a certain size anymore. I'm just trying to have enough energy to chase my kids through the yard. Health is a blessing, and I'll never take it for granted again. Let me tell you, 6 children under the age of 10 is a beautiful nightmare. There is always someone crying, someone hungry, and someone who lost their shoes. The laundry is a literal mountain that never goes away. But in the middle of that chaos, there are these moments of pure magic, 6 siblings huddled together reading a book or playing in the mud. That is the Duggar Reality that I want to focus on. Not the polished version for the cameras, but the raw, messy, beautiful truth of a big family. When Jana came home with Archie in February 2026, it felt like the old days, but better. We all sat around the living room at the big house, passing that baby around. My mom looked so happy holding him. It was a reminder that no matter how much drama or distance there is, a new baby brings a family together. Jana's journey to motherhood was long, but seeing her with Archie made us all realize that some things are worth the wait. The internet can be a cruel place. When the news of my diet fail got out, the comments were heartbreaking. People called me selfish and unfit. It's hard to read those things when you're already feeling low. But I've had to develop a thick skin. I know my heart, and I know I love my children. I'm not perfect, and I'm done pretending to be. If my struggle helps another mom realize she's doing too much, then the criticism is worth it. I've actually started to embrace Jinger's e-slacker comment in my own way. Not by having fewer kids, but by slacking on the expectations. I'm slacking on the need to have a perfect house. I'm slacking on the need to look like a model every day. I'm realizing that slacking is actually just another word for resting. And after 10 years of non-stop motherhood, I think I've earned a little rest. As we look toward the rest of 2026, I'm feeling more optimistic. I'm healthy again, the kids are thriving, and Ben and I are closer than ever. We're focusing on our local ministry and our family, and we're letting the Duggar fame fade into the background. We don't need a TV show to be happy. We just need each other. The future isn't about how many more kids we have. It's about the quality of the life we give the ones we have now. The best part of 2026 has been the sisterhood. Between the group chats and the FaceTime calls, we are closer than we've been in years. We're all in different stages, Jana with her first, me with my 6, Jinger in LA, but we are a support system for each other. We are the only ones who truly understand what it was like to grow up the way we did. We are protecting each other now, and that is a miracle in itself. If there's one thing I've learned from my diet disaster and my health scare, it's this: listen to your body. Don't push yourself for an image. You are more than your productivity. Your children don't need a perfect mom. They need a present mom. Don't be afraid to be picky like Jana or a slacker like Jinger. Find the rhythm that works for you and your family and don't apologize for it. My life is still chaotic. The floors are still covered in toys and the laundry is still piled high. But I'm not drowning anymore. I'm breathing. I'm grateful for Jana's miracle. I'm happy for Jinger's peace. And I'm learning to love my own beautiful, messy reality. This is Jessa Seewald. And I'm finally finding my own voice in the middle of the noise. Thank you for listening. And remember, it's okay to just be human. God bless.